There are 3 reasons why you should be building a personal brand right now, regardless of whether your business needs it or not. First of all, because you will need it. And a personal brand is not something that you suddenly wake up one day and decide that you need to have it and you are going to have it the next day. No, you have to treat this as an investment. It's something that grows over time. Surely there are stories of people who have built their brand and before they know it, they've gone viral and they become very successful and they even get invited to something like the Met Gala. That is not the case for almost everybody. You have to invest your time and energy to build a wonderful following, a curated following of people who actually want to hear from you and want to know more about you. And over time, they're going to be invested in you so much that they're going to opt in, buy your services, even buy your book, something along those lines, or just talk good about you, which means your reputation grows. The second reason is that you have to see yourself as a leader. You want to make an impact. You say that, but where are the actions that match the dreams? Remember, your dreams are not enough. Your actions have to match your dreams. Otherwise, the world would be full of achievers, but the truth is the world is full of dreamers and a few achievers. So you have to choose who you want to become. Dreaming about it or feeling this inkling or knowing that you're supposed to be successful is not enough to become an achiever. I know you know that, but you just need to hear that one more time. If you want to make an impact, you have to put yourself out there, you have to put in the effort, and this is the investment that it takes to succeed in this arena. The third reason is because you may not be able to imagine this right now, but maybe one day you will outgrow this business. And I don't mean that in a negative way, because a lot of people start out somewhere. So let's look at the Kardashians, for example. They started with a reality show, but that wasn't gonna be their always and forever. That was the starting jump off point for them. Once you do well financially through your business, you're gonna have other opportunities to invest. I have seen some people who become ultra successful that they become full-time investors, or some people may choose to go on and become a public figure and actually become a reality star or something along those lines. You don't know what you're gonna do, but for that reason, you have to start where you are right now. Success is a popularity game when it comes to business. As an entrepreneur and a service provider, such as a coach consultant, you didn't realize that being good at your work isn't enough to make it in this industry. No matter what you're doing, you are facing competition. I don't mean competition in a negative way. It just means there are a lot of people who are doing the same thing as you. So the question is, how do you stand out? How do you make yourself different? Now, if you're one of those lucky, fortunate individuals, and I don't mean lucky in a negative sense, but if your offer has worked well from the beginning and you're able to generate customers through LinkedIn, Facebook, or even paid ads, you may think that you can just stay where you are. However, entrepreneurship is a long-term game, and we have a constantly changing market. The best way to beat the fluctuation over time is to have a personal brand, meaning you need to have a unique presence online. The way that customers can relate to you, they can feel assured that you are the one to help them, and that your story resonates with them, and that your value systems are aligned with their value systems, and that also gives them the trust to choose you over many other competitors. Every good entrepreneur understands is that people's decision making is not only about logic, it's not only about how tangibly well you're able to deliver the results that they're looking for. What they're also looking for is the emotional factor, the feeling, the trust that you're the one to help them. So how do you do that? It takes time for people to build trust in any relationships. And the best way to do that is through creating entertaining, interesting, and valuable content that builds a brand presence and delivers your value through the brand voice. You also need to stop thinking small, thinking that the only thing that you're going to be selling are your products or new types of products. You need to start thinking more globally and worldly. When you have an established brand, that means you're able to have other influencer opportunities. More people know about you, the better your reputation is, the better you will do, and the more successfully you'll grow. This is why it is important for you to be on YouTube and TikTok, and to be active there and grow your following, because these are SEO friendly platforms, meaning every content that you create with the tags and descriptions, they're going to live on as keywords on Google. People on these platforms are searching for solutions to their problems every single day by typing it in the search bar. Whereas on Facebook, LinkedIn, and even Instagram, it's always the same people looking at your stuff unless you're adding new people. This is what makes a brand attractive. Building an appetizing personal brand starts with creating most wonderful, entertaining, and valuable content for your specific target audience. Just because you have the ability to help people doesn't mean that you're the one to help everybody. It is important to remember that. And to really understand that, you have to understand the psychographics of your audience, as well as the unconscious biases that we as humans carry with us all the time. You have 1 second for the prospect to even quickly feel or to believe whether you have the capability to help them or not. And a lot of that has to do with unconscious biases that people carry with them. A lot of it has to do with ageism, racism, sexism. We are not here to change the world through our content immediately somebody when they land on them. What we're doing is that we want to resonate with the right people and grow our following. We want to resonate with the people that are already open to being served and helped by us. And that starts with the psychographics, their pains, their desires, and their value systems. When these three are a match to what we have to offer, we have a great fit with the audience, and they can potentially turn into prospect and then potentially into a client. When it comes to creating content, you have to curate in ways that it meets the psychographics in many different ways. So if your service is a writing service, you're not only going to post about writing, but you're going to talk about different aspects of your prospects or your ideal audience's journey every single day. Even in their personal lives, what it takes to be a parent, for example, if that is in your psychographics. Or if they're single women, then you want to talk about that in their psychographics and reflect their experiences in that. A lot of times entrepreneurs don't understand why they have to do this, but think of it this way. When you see a Pepsi commercial, you're not going to get a whole list of all the reasons why you should be drinking Pepsi. You're going to see an aspiring image depending on who Pepsi wants to target. You may see a family on a picnic enjoying Pepsi and using the Pepsi as a connector, displaying happiness through a drink. Or you may see single people looking sexy dancing at a bar if that's who they want to target. You see, these are psychographics, targeting the feeling, the aspiration. And your content as a brand, it needs to do the same thing. So you may talk about family relationships in one piece of content. You may talk about running a business with a family, for example, if that's what you're targeting. You want to talk about different aspects, not only about the exact process that you are selling or the product or service that you are selling. Curating ideal content for your brand has to be looked at like a fashion brand. For example, recently, Mugler and H&M released a crossover collection together. When I looked at that collection, I consider myself an ideal buyer for that collection because most of what they put out, I was interested in. Whereas I have seen other fashion collections where I've seen 1 or 2 pieces maximum that I would consider myself trying it on, but the rest of it, I was not interested. That means I am not the ideal buyer for that collection and for that designer. When you see a fashion collection, you see many different types of garments, and the person who resonates with most of them is the ideal buyer that they have in mind. Similarly, when you create content, you want to put out content targeting diverse aspects of your ideal customer. And when a person resonates with most of the content, they are bingo, an ideal customer. When somebody resonates with only 1 or 2 pieces of content, the pull and the resonance is not strong enough, or they may not be an ideal customer in terms of where their goals are and where they're at in their life currently. This is why when you put out many different types of content, you're going to put out content that is more generally appealing. Let's say how to make money online. That is very general. It applies to a lot of people's desires. But then I can put out another piece of content that is more specific, which is something like this: how to create an amazing content or brand. Someone who's already in the space and working on it will resonate more with this type of content. I can go even deeper and talk about how to coach well, which is the industry I am in. The more people resonate with most of my content, the more ideal that customer is for me. And they will also feel it on the other side. That's why each piece of content that you put out, the only purpose is to get your audience to binge watch more of your content. And when they've had enough and they're full, they'll be sure to booking a call with you because they want more. This is an excellent, successful brand that knows how to target their customers well. And as a consequence, this brand will grow even greater and go viral, which then the business owner becomes a true influencer. And with that influencer status, you can do so much more, such as writing a book, putting on conferences, you name it. The world is at your feet at that point.